work out one day for those for Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Nikki, and today's video I'm going to be going over 5 daily habits that I do that help me to maintain my weight loss. If you enjoyed this video or find it helpful, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel, and let's jump right in. I just want to share 5 different things that I do every single day that have really helped me to stay on track with my weight loss. I am back in weight loss mode, but just in general with maintaining the weight loss that I started in April of 2020. So in April 2020, I hit my heaviest at 252 pounds. I felt really hopeless and I really wanted to make some changes to live a healthier lifestyle and to kind of get my life under control. And that was when I joined Weight Watchers in April 2020 and lost 70 pounds that year. I've been maintaining that loss since and just working on building more muscle and still burning more fat. And those have just been my goals over the year. And these are some of the things that I do every single day and have helped me to make the transformation that I've made. But starting with tip number 1 is something that I share all the time on my channel, and that is having a Honeycrisp apple every single day after dinner. And it's very specific that I have a Honeycrisp apple. You don't have to do that. But in general, when I eat a meal, I crave something sweet after. So whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, unless it's like a sweet meal. So like if I'm having pancakes for breakfast, then I usually don't want something sweet after. But even if I'm having like eggs and toast or something, I crave something sweet right after, especially after lunch and dinner. And in the past, my habit was to just go grab some candy. I used to eat so much candy before I started my weight loss journey, and I never even like had a second thought about it because it was just like a habit that I like wanted something sweet right after. When I started my weight loss journey, I knew that was something that I still like had. Like I hadn't just like dropped that habit completely. And I realized that fruit kind of satisfies that sweet tooth for me. So even if I still want a dessert after, like I don't restrict dessert on my journey, but even if I still want that after, I'll have a fruit first to kind of fill me up a little more, help me to get some fiber in and reach more of my health goals. And then I'll have the regular dessert after, usually still a lower point option that I've found because I've really tried to find just like healthier, lower point, lower calorie or higher protein desserts. So whether it's like a protein bar or brownie or a yogurt bowl or bowl of cereal or something, sometimes I'll have something like that as dessert, but I always have some type of fruit first. So a lot of the times for lunch, I'll just have grapes after my lunch. That's become like my favorite fruit to have midday. And it's just like a serving of grapes that I'll have. On Weight Watchers, grapes are 0 points unless you are on the diabetic plan, but for me, they're technically 0. So I still do the normal serving. I don't like try to overdo it with fruit, but I have fruit after my meal. And then every single day after dinner, I have an apple. So even if we go out to eat or if we go to like an event or like a family get together or something, right when I get home, I still come have my apple because it's just helped me so much to, first of all, satisfy that sweet tooth, but also to get some fiber in. I think it really does help with my digestion. And it's just become a really good healthy habit that's helped me stick to my goals because then I don't overdo it. Like I said, an apple kind of fills me up. So I still want something sweet after. If it's like a bite of chocolate, sometimes I'll have like a skinny dipped peanut butter cup or something. If it's something like that, I can still have it, but the apple helps to kind of just like fill me up a little bit more and just take advantage of some 0 point foods, get my fruit in, which of course there's plenty of nutrients in an apple. So that's beneficial as well. And so that's just a habit that's really helped me to stay on track with my journey. Healthy habit number 2 that I do every single day is the way that I build my meals. So I build my meals around 0 point foods. If you don't track with Weight Watchers, 0 point foods are lean meats, chicken breast, eggs, vegetables, fruit if you are not on the diabetic plan, corn, beans, just a bunch of different foods like that are 0 points on Weight Watchers. And those are always what I start my meals with. So I like to pick a protein. Usually when I'm making a meal, I see like what protein I have in my fridge that I need to use up, whether it's like a ground turkey or chicken, or even just like some pre-cooked pulled chicken, or maybe like seafood that I thawed. Like I always make sure to check what protein I have first, and I kind of plan the meal around that. And then whatever vegetables I have that I need to use up that are gonna go bad. So maybe I'll have green beans or asparagus or something in the drawer that I need to use before it goes bad. That's how I always time it. And people ask me if I have a lot of food waste, and I really try not to because I try to prioritize in order the foods that go bad and stuff. So I will do a protein. I'll get as many 0 point foods packed into the meal first to make it really filling. And then I decide what kind of carb I'm having, if it's gonna be like a pasta, rice, bread, if I'm gonna add any cheese, any sauce, anything like that that are extra like point value foods. I'll add those in after, and then that's kind of how I decide like how much I'll make that meal for point value. But I always start with the 0 point foods. I try to prioritize those and get those in first because it makes the meals way more filling, and it kind of helps me to even just be creative to like think like, okay, I need to get a protein, I need to get a vegetable. So I have to like pick from what I have in the fridge and just build a meal out of that. And that's usually how I make most of my meals. Even for breakfast, when I go in the fridge, I see, do I have chicken sausage, bacon, Canadian bacon, ham? Like, what do I have in there that I can use for my egg scramble? Do I have potatoes? Do I have cubed potatoes, hash browns? What veggies? Do I have a veggie mix? Do I have mushrooms that I can add in? Like, I try to just build meals based on that. I try to keep them simple. And that's also where ingredient prep is really helpful, which I can put the video down below where I talk about how I ingredient prep and what I do for that. But having a veggie mix at all times to add to every single meal makes things so much easier to hit my vegetable goals for the day and make meals more filling with 0-point foods. So that is something I always prioritize every single day. There are definitely days where I just have like a quick throw together meal that maybe I'm not hitting all of my goals to get like a protein, a vegetable, all that in, but I really do try my best to make that my focus when I make meals, and it's really made it easier for me to make nourishing meals throughout the day. It makes it really quick and easy. It saves me a lot of time when it comes to like cooking and planning meals and stuff like that, and that's just one of the ways that I've been able to stay on track with making healthier meals, not always wanting to get takeout, because that is something before I started my weight loss, we were getting fast food and takeout 1 to 2 times a day, and it was just a habit that I was so used to. It was so easy, and breaking out of that habit was not easy to do. It definitely took some time and figuring out what was going to work for me to actually be able to consistently make meals at home without overdoing and overwhelming myself. So that's the best way I do that, is just building meals around those things and having ingredients prepped to make them, and it's really helped me to stay on track. Okay, daily habit number 3 that I do is some kind of movement every day. So I get asked what my workout split is. My main priority with working out and moving my body is definitely weightlifting, because I want to prioritize building muscle. I really enjoy weightlifting. It's a good way to get my heart rate up, and it's something I look forward to. It's something that I've really become passionate about. That's just become the exercise that I can really stay consistent with. I usually lift weights 5 days a week, and so I take 2 rest days, but on those rest days, I'm not fully just like not moving. I've really made it a priority, especially in the past few months, to get my steps in on those days. And I've really noticed a difference, especially with just like hitting my goals and being back in weight loss. Walking extra has really helped. So it doesn't have to be any crazy movement, but trying to get some type of movement in every single day has been so huge for me. And when I talk about my weight loss journey, I always mention that I focused on nutrition and tracking for the first 3 months. I didn't work out one day for those first 3 months. I didn't want to incorporate exercise, because in the past I had always used exercise as a way to kind of like reward myself with food. I would like earn food by working out, and it was a really unhealthy mindset for me. I thought if I went and ran a bunch, I could come home and have a Sonic shake, and it really did not balance out. So that mindset is something that I had to get away from, and making moving about just like feeling better, getting stronger, and not so much about like the eating and losing weight part of it. Keeping those things separate has really helped, because it is still really beneficial. It does help me burn more calories and get more lean by going to the gym and walking and doing those things. It definitely does change even how I look or like my weight loss. I don't really have the mindset that that's why I'm doing it, and I do it more to just live a longer, healthier life, get more muscle, take care of my joints, take care of my bones, those types of things, so that my future is easier for me. That's what I think about when I prioritize movement, but I do some type of movement every single day, whether it be weightlifting, walking, rollerblading. And there are also a lot of things that I try to do that are just fun activities, and they don't feel like movement when I'm doing them, or they don't feel like a workout when I'm doing them, but a lot of the times they are. Even the other day we went to a pickleball place and played, and that was just something different that got us moving for an hour, and we got a bunch of activity points on our Fitbit. Adam and I each got like 100 activity points, and it didn't even feel like it was like some intense workout. It was just fun to go do that. And we've done a lot of other things like that. There's like this place called Activate that's this fun like game room you kind of run around in. We go sledding when we can, we go ice skating, just finding random ways to stay moving that don't feel like they're just like going and doing a bunch of burpees. Like finding fun ways to move so that I can incorporate movement every single day has really helped me to achieve my goals. The next daily habit that really has helped me with maintaining my weight loss and just overall feeling better in general is prioritizing water intake, which I feel like I mention in all of these videos. Every time I mention a tip video on how to lose weight or how to just like live a healthier life, water is so important. And it sounds so easy, but it really is something you have to think about. You have to make an effort to prioritize, and it will make a difference difference. I've really tried to set a goal for myself each day to drink 4 of these blender bottles. These are 32 ounces, so it is a good amount of water, but with how active I am, I do try to just prioritize a little bit extra. But even in the beginning, before I started working out and everything, the first 3 months, prioritizing water really did make a difference for me. It made me feel better, and it really made me realize how much I was drinking my calories, because I would just drink all these other sugary drinks all day and not pay attention to how much water I was drinking. And when I realized how much I should be having versus the other drinks, which I still have other drink options I like to have, but right now I always prioritize water first, and then I can have those things. Like, there will be times where I just want a Coke Zero so bad, but I have like half my water bottle left, so I'll finish that first and then I'll get the Coke Zero. I feel like just having an easy way to measure it that isn't even just like tracking it, because sometimes that could even be tedious, having to worry about like tracking your water throughout the day, but just knowing like, okay, I need to fill this water bottle 4 times in a day, and when I do that, that's gonna hit my water goal, and I'll notice how much better I feel. But just measuring it in that way is a little bit easier for me. So I've just switched off. Like, I've gone through a bunch of different types of water bottles and what's worked for me and like phases with them, but this one has stuck the longest, where I just get these blender bottles. They only have a couple colors, but the 32 ounces are my favorite, and I just order them off Amazon, and then I just fill them each day 4 times, like I said, and I just try to stay on track with that, drinking my water. So it's not always easy, and I do forget and have to remind myself. I've mentioned before that sometimes I'll like set a timer for myself to know when to drink water, but I just always like to mention that because it's a daily habit that I do always make sure to make a priority, but also it makes a difference, and it's something that it sounds simple. So even if you feel like you're struggling, maybe just making that one little change could be helpful to you. Prioritizing water is huge, and having a way to measure it in an easy way is definitely important, something that's made it more consistent and like sustainable for me. And then the last habit that I do every single day that helps me to stay on track with my weight loss journey is pairing habits together. So it kind of goes with drinking water, because that's one of the habits that I like to pair. But when there's certain things that you just do every day that are habits of yours that you don't even like think about, that have just like become a part of your routine. So an example of a habit, and one that I'm just using right now because we just talked about water, is like, I let the dogs out every single morning to go to the bathroom. So why not just take my water bottle with me and drink it every single time I do that? Or even like when I come back inside, have the water bottle ready to just drink it, and pair those habits together, because I know that I'm going to be letting them out every single day at the certain time that I let them out. So if I just know that I have to drink water at that same time, like I pair those 2 habits together, it just helps me to accomplish more at once. And I feel like I've just always kind of had that mindset when it came to like school and stuff. I'd be like working on 2 things at once. Like, I was always trying to like multitask, but I realized that I could use it to my benefit when it came to like the healthy habits that keep me on track. So another example is like, if I'm sitting somewhere and I know I'm just gonna like not be able to do something, like I was just at the dentist in the waiting room and I already had a plan of what I was gonna be eating that day. So in my phone, I just went ahead and pre-tracked in Weight Watchers, because I just knew that I was gonna have a few extra seconds to do that. So whenever I have just like spare time, I try to kind of use that spare time and pair it with a quick healthy habit, like tracking my food. So if there's something that you do consistently every single day that's just like a normal habit that like you don't even think about, and you can take one of those healthy habits that you're maybe struggling to stick with and pair it with that. It can even be just like pairing extra steps with doing something that you do every day, like finding something that maybe you're struggling to stick with or hit your goals with, and pairing it with something that you already do mindlessly, brushing your teeth or something. It can maybe help you to actually stick with it. And so that's something that I do every single day. There's a few different ways that I do it, and it just depends on the day, but pairing habits together has really helped me to stick with these healthy changes and actually see results. So that wraps up everything that we're going over today. I just wanted to make this video to share what works best for me. Everybody's different with their journey, and it's important to find what is going to be sustainable for you to actually like stick with. But I'm hoping that maybe hearing these things can give you some inspiration, or maybe help you find ways to apply them to your everyday habits and things that you're trying to change. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.